What it is, it's your boy Hip Hop Karma. You are tuned into the Random Podcast, and today I have a special guest with me. And my special guest is, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
It's your boy Jay Crunk, you know what I'm saying? Just killing rappers uniquely, never kneeling. Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Okay, so it actually stands for some shit.
yeah. At first it was just, plain and simple, but then it eventually became an acronym. So,
Got you.
yeah.
And what made you come up with that?
Um, Honestly, I was just, I'm all about versatility and whatnot, standing for something,
Okay,
So I was like, yo, let this go ahead and go down like this.
okay. And when did you get into music? What made you get into music, man?
um, Honestly, yo, like I've been into music for a long time, probably when I was like 14 or so,
Uh
you
huh.
know. Just watching like the music videos and everything like that, seeing how everything can go down and like the essence of like how everybody ran to the TV like, yo, BET's on or,
Yeah, yeah,
the jams are on and
yeah.
stuff. So then it became from the TV to our lifestyle, and I was like, yo, they doing the same thing we doing outside, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? They're like,
right.
oh, well, he grew up from this place, he grew up, and I was like, all right, so if they can make it, I can make it. So, you know what I mean? Let me go ahead and try that.
Who'd
So,
you go, who'd you grow up listening to? Some of your influences
ooh,
growing up and shit.
I want to say, honestly, it was a lot of like Southern rap. I'm not gonna lie,
Okay,
like UGK,
okay.
like original Swisher House roster, like Mike Jones, Chameleonaire, Paul Wall, Razak, 50/50 Twins.
What
Um,
got you to the South?
my family moved down there from out here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
So you moved to the South.
no, my fam.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, see, that's like a whole nother story too. Yeah, but yeah, like I got family out there and whatnot. My brothers and sisters, and then also my parents.
Okay.
So they moved out there, and I was raised out here by my grandmother.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, man. It was like, yo, we wanted to be, where our family was at or where they were from, type deal. So we was like, all right, let's represent, you
Yeah.
know. But of course, you always had the Dre and Snoop out here.
Yeah.
You had like the West Coast stuff, and it was like, well, I was too young to understand it. I was like, yo, this is the lifestyle, but I mean, I wasn't banging as a kid. I was too busy trying to be flashy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
that's how it was. Yeah.
Got you. So are you born and raised in Oceanside?
Yeah. Born and raised in Oceanside. It's just I got fam like my grandmother. She actually migrated from Virginia, and then my grandfather. He's from West Point, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they came over here and kind of set up shop in California,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
that's okay.
And then I got like a big family, so I'm actually the eighth out of 10.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it was me and I'm gonna say three of my sisters. Um, they are, what is it? I think like 3 years ahead of me, and then the other one's just 1 year ahead of me.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
How was it growing up in Oceanside, man?
Well, you see, I grew up in the Deep Valley, right?
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Hey, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like how we was talking about earlier about like anxiety and whatnot. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I live right on the corner of like going over the bridge. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So College and Adams, right before you go over the toll bridge, I'm over there in that neighborhood. It's called Dead Presidents.
Uh huh.
So when you come out there, to the bus stop or whatever, it's like you look straight, and that's like in the Shadow Oaks. You know what I mean? Shadow Way.
Right.
And it was like you got all Crips over there.
Got you.
And if you go to the right over the bridge, that's the Deep Valley. You got all the Bloods over there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then at the same time, if you go to the left when you go over the bridge, then that's over there in Mesa. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like when I come out of my neighborhood, I'm like, shit, anybody can just like really pop up on a nigga. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Um, so it was like, yeah, just growing up, like I remember a lot of people think like I used to bang as a kid because I never wore blue.
Right.
It was really because my grandmother was like, look, the only way nobody's really gonna mess with you is if you're not wearing gang colors. So
Right.
so seldomly I would wear like red and whatnot. I wouldn't wear blue. So that's when I would just wear like a lot of black and gray. You know what I'm saying, white, whatever the case was. You know what I'm saying.
How did you avoid the gang life, man? Because there's a lot of gang activity in North County in general, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, man. God kept me from all that. Cause
You see any friends that were banging and went the wrong way?
yeah, I seen a lot of that. I seen people that banged. I seen a lot of people that did drugs, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I got somewhat of like survivor's guilt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even like Even on my last project and whatnot, I gave a shout out to like a lot of people that passed away over there and stuff. There was like a young girl that I grew up with, and her life was taken by gang members, and she wasn't even banging. She was just late night hanging out with her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So,
Damn.
you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, I made it. I made it by the grace of God. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because there was times and positions where I was in, and I was like, bro, there's no way out of here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
either I'm about to either like get killed or I'm gonna have to. You know what I'm saying? So
Fight or flight.
yeah, real shit, real
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So what made you wanted to get into the booth, man, and put this shit together and actually get your soul onto the microphone?
Um, I mean, I'd have to say that started back in like fifth grade. I think I was like 11 years old.
Okay.
Like, it was like my grandparents, they were getting like a divorce at the time and everything like that. Things were kind of like bad at the house, you know. So like we had like a poetry assignment at school, and the teacher was just like, you know what, you need to go ahead and write down how you feel and everything like that. So I'm going through turmoil at home, so I was like, oh, I can write down how I feel. So I wrote it down or whatever, and she was like, nah, that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, whatever. So went back, wrote it down again. Can you try to do something else that rhymes and stuff? And I was like, okay, like I know some rhymes, you know.
Okay.
And this is around the time.
Was this an English teacher? What teacher was this?
This was in fifth grade, so this is like, you know,
Oh, general teacher.
Yeah, general teacher. But it was like a gifted and talented education class, so a GATE class or whatever.
Okay.
So like my reading level was already at a 12th grade level in fifth grade.
Damn.
So like yeah, I was like hella educated. Like my comprehension is there. You know what I'm saying? So like I took that and like, you know, street life, and then ended up being able to like peep what's going on before I even get there or when I'm there, kind of shit.
Yeah.
But back to the music, she was basically saying like it wasn't good enough. So this is around the time 50 Cent had just dropped his album, the Get Rich or Die Trying, right?
Okay.
We used to bump that song Many Men like a lot, and I think I wrote in like that bar where it was like I'm a underground king and I just ain't been crowned, you know what I'm saying, like a diamond in the rough kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I wrote some other stuff, you know, that I was going through, and that's when it caught her attention, and she was like what is this? Like you know, went straight to the principal's office, you know, got shut down type deal, and then I eventually ended up getting expelled for writing that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like yeah, the school system failed me, you know what I'm saying?
So
At
wait a
that
second.
too.
So wait a second. She has you rewrite the shit 2 or 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get to the point to where you wrote it good enough where she actually takes the time to fucking read it.
Mm-hmm.
She flips out because she fucking read it,
Yeah, because the content. Yeah.
and then takes it to the principal, and now she's like, "Whoa, you can't even be here."
Yeah, zero tolerance.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I got expelled in fifth grade for writing poetry. I didn't even.
What school was that?
Del Rio Elementary.
Wow.
Teacher's name was Miss Chambers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
People
crazy.
that know me, like they know that story. You know what I'm saying? They were like, "Oh damn, like Jerry's a problem child," or he wrote this to
He
such
got kicked
and
out of
such,
5th
or-
grade.
Yeah,
Because
it's
of how good you write.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
So yeah, I remember having to write like a whole. I think I wrote like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I wrote like 5 pages to the school board trying to say like, hey, like, don't throw me out. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm trying to be in the talent show. I got friends here.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff, and you know, a bunch of like kid dreams and wishes.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just like threw me to the wolves. And then at the time, Claire Bergner, if you know where that's at, over
Not familiar. Huh?
it's next to Jefferson Middle School, kind of going towards what is it, Oceanside High.
Okay.
It's on Mission.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had like a school program called Challenges, and that's where the hood took me under.
Oh, okay. That's where the bad kids went.
Yeah, that's where like all the bad kids went.
Got
So
you.
everybody that got expelled, you know, all that stuff. And once
When I
again-
went there, it was Oceanside Summit.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
what-
nah. Okay, so there was a Summit. Summit's down the street by Pep Boys.
That's where it was.
Okay, so before you get to Summit, there's that light, and it's like the school district. The building's over here to the right. So before you get there, if you make that turn off to go to those apartments,
Yeah.
go to Jefferson.
Yeah.
Claire Bergner's right there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there, and that's when I started meeting like, you know, like some of the essays, you know, some Crips. I was already like, I already knew who like some of the Bloods were because of like how close I was to the Ville. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. So was that your first time of really writing some music, and then you kind of got shut down on writing your first kind of bars
Yeah,
per se? So
yeah.
so did you even get to spit that shit, or did you get to get that shit off your chest, or how did that piece of paper work out?
I didn't get to no, I didn't get to rap or anything. I just wrote it down, and I remember going to like challenges and everything, and there was like, oh yeah, I can rap, blah 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 blah. Everybody's like, yeah, like the 1 2 was it one fish blue fish kind of
Yeah,
kind of clowning,
yeah,
and then but at the same time I was like, damn, like once again that comprehension kicked in and was like, look, if you can make this teacher feel this way or make somebody feel a certain way with writing, maybe that should be your go-to thing,
yeah,
and then at the same time I was going through like a lot of like depression and whatnot as a kid,
yeah,
being like the only boy in the house. You remember, because my grandfather had just divorced my grandmother, and it was just my grandmother and then my 3 older sisters.
got you.
So then I'm like, she was like, well, you got to be the man of the house, and I'm like, I'm only 11. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? What does the man of the house do? You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, I only knew how
right,
to program the VCR. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right.
that kind of thing. So taking all that into like perspective, I was like, well, let me go ahead and keep writing and stuff. So like writing became how like I expressed myself, because it was like I didn't have like older brothers, didn't have like really true friends to like actually talk to or anything
Yeah,
like that. So I was like, well, this paper's gonna catch how I feel. You know what I mean? And it didn't judge me. So
yeah.
I just started writing, and I remember getting teased for like carrying around my notebook. People was like, "Yo, like Jerry got a diary." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
look at him. He emotional and this and this. And I was like, "Yo, this notebook is like keeping me from like bombing on you right now."
Yeah.
Because you gotta remember too, like, so when you get expelled and whatnot, the school district makes you go through certain programs. So
Yep.
it's like anger management, individual counseling, all that stuff. So,
Yep.
when I was telling them like what happened, they're like, well, maybe you should just write your feelings out and everything like that. So I'm like, okay. So I took that idea and eventually started like rewriting like my favorite songs. So like, I think it was like Lil Flip. I used to listen to Lil Flip a lot. And I basically rewrote like my own, bars within his verse,
Same cadence and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
put your own
yeah.
shit in there.
Yeah,
Got you.
everybody does it. Like, what was it? That Petey Pablo song. I think it was like "Raise Up," when
Yeah,
everybody's
well,
like
here,
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then people would be like, everybody would be like Oceanside or
Yeah,
California.
raise up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
would throw your
yeah.
own city in there. Everybody did it. And then eventually I would be like, okay, let me try to write like my own line right here, and then like go back to his verse. Or
Right,
like, let me try another one, and then I could flip it this way. He should have said this.
right, right.
And then so eventually like it became something that I loved, and then they were like, hey, like you can go to a studio, and eventually that's like from there on it was just like bam. It's like
How old were you when you first got to get into the studio and hear your voice?
I want to say maybe like 14. Yeah,
Damn.
like 14. Yeah.
You remember what studio you got to go to?
Yeah, down on Coast Highway. I think his name was Board.
Bort.
Yeah, Board.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Bort.
yeah, yeah.
Oceanside legend,
Yes.
man.
Yeah, man. I went to him, and then my other first studio session was all the way out in Esco with Pistol Pete,
Pistol Pete,
and I was
another North County legend,
and I
bro.
was 14 meeting these cats. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Wow, so you're working with the best at a young age, low
Yeah,
key.
yeah. So yeah, that's like yeah, man. I crossed paths with like a lot of people that got like a name out here for themselves, like at a young age.
Yeah.
So then now that I'm older, it's like what happened to the
How old are
game?
you? How old are you now?
I'm about to be 29 next month, so 28.
Sheesh, man.
Yeah,
Young
yeah.
as hell. Young as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah, but like I'm an old soul, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Yeah, because everybody I was hanging out with was like way older, so like my respect level, my my discipline, my self discipline, all those factors are up here. You know what I'm saying? So I might not enjoy like this whole TikTok social media thing, but at the same time, it's like, look, like I want to be able to have a house. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
want to be able to have
Assets.
this. Yeah, exactly. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
And the late great Nip. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. Like especially how he was talking about like ownership, and then how things like depreciate. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
and this, and it was like see that was real right there.
Right.
So like I resonated with him. Like I wasn't really a fan when he first came on, but then eventually I was like, yo, like he's actually saying something, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, he feel the same way I feel. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I ain't
yeah.
trying to just be out here Mr. Rap. It's like I seen rap as my path to build up generational wealth for my family.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm so passionate about it. It's like, it's not just me trying to be the man or be the face of whatever. It's like, y'all can go ahead and have that. It's like, I'm trying to build something so I can prosper throughout life.
Yeah,
You know what
for
I'm
the rest of
saying?
the family and shit.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, so I can have that time to sit with my nieces and nephews, and eventually like my first child, whenever I have one, um, how to, like how to maneuver and whatnot, actually have that time to spend instead of, oh, well, I can't talk right now. I got a 12-hour shift, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or whatever the
Right.
case is.
Right.
So,
What do you get the inspiration to write some of your content, man? Do is it everyday life? Is it a fictional story? Is it something that you just grab out of the sky? What does your content come from, man? Like where do you get this music from?
um, I'd say it's a mixture of like what's going on, and at the same time, like how I feel at the moment. And then like number one thing though, it's like how the like what the beat is telling me to write.
Got you. Got you.
Um, every beat, I feel like every beat has its own story,
Okay.
and when you listen to it, like if you're a true artist or a true writer, like you're gonna be able to hear it and be like, okay, I need you to say this on this kind of track. You know what I'm saying? So that's like when the whole versatility thing comes in.
Right.
Because it's like when you listen to some G funk or some West Coast beat, you're like, all right, I already know what to say.
Oh,
Because
got you.
I lived that, grew up through it, so I can talk about like my personal, trials and tribulations.
Right.
And then if it's like something that has like some boom bap to it, I'm like, all right, I can show how smart I am. I can
Mhm.
show my wordplay. I can show like that I ain't stupid. You know what I mean? I ain't
Right.
no dummy. And
Right.
then if it's like a slow mellow, it's like, all right, let me talk to the ladies real quick. let me tell them.
Let me get in their ear one time.
Yeah. Let me show you how like how a man's supposed to talk to a woman. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Not like
Okay.
how a dude's supposed to talk to a girl. Like, you know what I'm saying, on some respect.
Okay. What's your writing process, man? You write the music first and then find a beat for the music. You get the beat first. You freestyle. How
I
you do it?
used to write just write, and then I would find the beat to match it. I'm like, yo, this actually goes with it.
Uh,
But then eventually I started seeing like yo, these just sound like freestyles on beats, because
got you.
it's like no content related to the actual beat.
Got you. Got you.
And then eventually, when you evolve as an artist, you start seeing like, okay, I can actually do this. I can do this way. So now I listen to the beat, and like I'll listen to the beat probably, I don't know, like probably like a good 5 times. Especially now that I'm like working and whatnot. It's like I'll listen to the beat when I wake up, like on the way to work, and then at break, and then at lunch, and then by the time I'm getting home, I'm already got like how I want the hook to sound. I want my verse to go, the
You write in
cadence.
your head, or how do you write? You write down on paper or phone, cell phone. You write in your
Mm,
head. How you getting that? How do you do that?
I used to write a lot on paper, but recently, there's times where I've been drinking or smoking, whatever the case may be, and like my rhymes get ruined, on paper.
I got you.
But then also there's a downside to like writing on the phone, because it's like there's been times where I've been in the studio, in this studio too. Like I'll be sitting there like spitting, my phone dies,
Uh,
or like I'll be spitting and then my phone will freeze, or like something will happen wrong, and I'm just like,
Technology.
yeah, exactly. So I started like screenshotting my stuff just in case like anything happened, it's still in the picture, because I'm
Ah.
like, bro, these rhymes need to be here.
Yeah, that's pretty. Hey, that's a good technique right
Yeah,
there. I
yeah,
never thought about that.
yeah, man.
Screenshotting the fucking phone.
Yeah, screenshot it. So regardless of whatever happens to your phone, you can send that to your next phone. You can
Yeah.
send that to whoever.
Email, whatever.
Exactly, and it's a picture opposed to the email format, and it'll be way spaced out.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it'll be
Right.
like two bar, two bar, two bar. So
So is it a day process writing a song? Is it a week process, a month process? How long does it take you to get down on the track, man?
yo, man. Depending on how much I'm feeling it,
Uh huh.
um, how much like how much energy I feel like I could put out through it. Um, Honestly, I can get down to jam like maybe like an hour.
Damn.
Like no lie. Like I'm a quick writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can just write it down or whatever, get the verse, and be like, all right, I'll work on the hook later, and then write the second verse, and then I'll come back to the hook, and then that's when I'll chill with it, and be like, all right, what could I say? What could I say? And then at times, I'll probably say like 24 hours.
About
You
about a
know,
day, and you got that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, because like next time you go you wake up in the morning, you know, listen to it again on work or on the way to work, and then you're just like,
Make sure you
alright.
still got that same cadence and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
And
flow and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that shit will stay for I'd say maybe like a week or two. But then after you don't mess with it for like those 2 weeks, then the cadence changes.
Gone.
It goes back to your default settings,
Right.
basically.
Default
Yeah,
settings.
yeah. That's basically
What the
how.
fuck was this?
Yeah. So no, like you'll be like, yo, this was dope. This was dope. But then you're like, no, I feel like it was a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I remember saying this way.
You ever had that when you wrote a song and then like you come to the studio and you're like, damn, wait, fuck, that's not the same cadence. Wait a second.
Yeah, that just happened on my last studio session.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It was because I sat on the song too long, you know.
Right.
And then that's one of my biggest things. So that's why you'll hear from me and you'll be like, yo, he's actually in the studio. He's doing it. And all of a sudden, like, I'll just go ghost, you know. And you'll be like, yo, is he all right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because, like I said, I'm really passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like growing up, I didn't really have like much to like look forward to. So I was like, in my from my perspective, this is like my legacy. You
Right.
know.
Right.
So you know, I'm getting older. You know, I know I'm still young, but it's like I'm always looking towards the future.
Right.
You know. So
Right.
so I'm like, okay, even if I never make it or whatever the case may be, I need to make sure that these rhymes have some type of substance or some type of content that, you know, a next generation will hear and get inspired or whatever the case is. I need this to age well, you know, opposed to having that one hit wonder for like the year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like instead of being like a designer and everybody's like, yeah, I remember Panda, but like, yo, do you remember the lyrics?
Right.
Do you remember like
Anything
know,
after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like people like, you know, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
you know,
People that are making that shit classic.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and then you can still go back to it and you'd be like, yo, I remember the first time I heard this, I was driving in my 2000 or
Yeah.
whatever the case
Yeah,
is, you know,
yeah.
and that's like, to me, that's like time travel on our, you know, on our existence and whatnot, you know.
So
'cause-
are you listening to any old school rappers or new school rappers right now to kind of get some inspiration? Like who's in your tape deck or CD player or motherfucking Walkman? I don't know what it is nowadays.
Yo, yo.
XM radio or some shit.
Let me
Cell phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, let me open up my Spotify. I got a really versatile taste of music.
Let's see what you got in there. Let's see what you got in there.
For right now, besides myself.
Okay.
No, I'm playing. I got some Kid Cudi. I
Okay.
really mess with Kid Cudi. I got that last album by Eminem, Music to Be Murdered By.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a huge Outkast fan. So
Yeah.
I've been recently bumping the speaker box Love Below.
Okay.
What inspired me to choose Jay Crunk from like way back then, it was actually Lil Jon and the East Side Boys when they dropped Crunk Juice.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so that was my era, like
Yeah.
growing up, like
Yeah.
like,
Lil
all right,
Jon.
yeah, man, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, it was just the energy, you know what I'm saying? Like they talking trash, we finna get them back, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Expect it, you know what I'm saying? And then
Is that where that South influence maybe came from a little bit? 'Cause
yeah, a
he-
little bit. Yeah. And then at the same time, it was just at the time everybody was like, it was just party music was coming in so hard. That's when Atlanta really like set the stage. It was like
Yeah.
Ludacris, Lil Jon, Outkast was like out there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That was just like what was really being shown. You know, we didn't really have too many videos of like Snoop, Pac, Dre, like E40, anything like that, like growing up, because
Yeah.
like those were like the throwback jams. So we were like, okay, well, they had their time kind of deal. Like nobody was really like talking about them except for like OGs, you know.
Right,
So it was
right.
like, yo, you need to get on some Corrupt, little homie. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It was
right.
like who's Corrupt? You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Or
right.
whatever the case is. Then you go listen, and you're like, okay, like, all right, OG, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was like more party music, more club music was coming in. So
Did you ever get any of the San Diego artists like the Mitchie Slicks or the J.O. Felony? Did you ever listen to that?
Yo, when I was 16, dog, what was it? I think it was J.O. Felony.
I could give it to you, but what?
Nah, hotter than fish grease.
Oh, okay.
Yo, back in Dead Presidents, he would, one of my homies would roll through, and he had like a busted little Explorer, but he had like the subs in it, right?
Yeah.
So he would like come through, and like you can hear him like 2 blocks over, and you just like boom, won't, hotter
Yeah.
than fish grease. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, just like how he was like saying the words and stuff, like, the hotter than fish grease. I was like, yo, like, I ain't heard nobody say that. Who's that? He's like,
Yeah.
yo, that's the homie J.O. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
J.O., J.O. Fallon. He's like, yeah, so that, and then, also the homies used to be like, Mitchie Slick, you know what I mean? Yeah, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, clack, 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 you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's heavily within like the Oceanside roots, you know what I mean? Whether or not people want to say it or not, like San Diego music definitely has an influence down here, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the OGs told me the other day. I was talking to Damu and Mitchie Slick, and he said, "I don't care what nobody said, man. Oceanside is San Diego. And San Diego's part of Oceanside. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who made
Yeah.
the bridge or who says the bridge, but the OGs say there is no bridge.
Okay.
It's we got the past. Everything is good. They've been fucking with us and shit.
Okay.
So it was kind of good to hear because I have the stigma of like, everybody's got their little section and shit's kind of like that's just their section and stuff. So it was good to hear him say that and shit, man.
Yeah, definitely.
When you grew up and you got out of high school and shit, what made you continue to push with the music? Because it sounded like you kind of like low key hit a rock and shit and kind of had a couple little stumbles like that. They almost didn't want you to do it, but then you still did it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, what made you pursue that shit?
That's honestly, it was all I had. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, I had like a real like troubled life growing up. So, instead of like going to like counselors and stuff like that, I was just like, I just need to write this down. I need to write this down. Talking to God, praying and stuff as a kid,
Yeah.
because that's literally all I had. Yeah, sure, I had friends and stuff, but then when I would open up and it's like, yo, my life's like this, they're like that's weird, this kind of thing, like
Yeah.
like
They couldn't relate.
Yeah, they couldn't, from like a stable middle class household to a single mother household to just like me and my mom's kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? When I say my mom's, I'm talking about my grandmother because
Yeah.
she adopted me and my three other sisters at birth.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's all I know.
Yeah.
It's like grandma is my mom's. You
Right.
know.
Right. How was that having grandma around and stuff like that and growing up with grandma? Was it a little different because kids had
Yeah.
everything, had mom and dad and shit. You got grandma. Was it
Yeah,
different?
yeah, it was different because growing up in like going to like school and stuff, you would have like the back to school or not back to school, shadow a student and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So the people would be like, yo, like, is that your mom? And they're like, oh, well, that's Jerry's grandma and this
Right.
and this. So
Right.
like, where are your parents? That
Right.
kind of deal.
Right.
So yeah, I had like that kind of like turmoil and whatnot. Growing up like the only like black kid on my street, that kind of thing. And then
You were the only black kid on the street.
yeah, so
Damn.
it was like my house. The neighbor was black, but she was like it was just her and her husband.
Okay.
And then there was like no kids, and then like my old friend Chris was like another house down, white boy. And there was like another house, and it was like Tommy and Joey. They were like Mexican. Then another house down, and it was like another Mexican cat, and that was like the neighborhood like strip right there.
Right. Was there any color lines when you were growing up, or was that not a really issue because like kind of
I want to say when I started hitting high school, it was.
Yeah.
When I was like a kid, like all the jokes went way over my head. Like I was just talking to my wife about this. Like I had no idea like how racist like my friends were really being, or the kids that like I can't call them my friends because, but like how racist like the jokes were and stuff like that.
Right.
Because like
Right.
when you're a kid and you got like that innocent pure heart, like you're not looking to see like, yo, did he say that in the wrong? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So you get
right.
older and you're like,
wait a second.
yo, they used to say this, and I'm like, yo, like that wasn't cool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
damn. And then like you started realizing like the other situations, the other run-ins that you had with these people, and you're like, homie really was never like my friend. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like that kind
yeah.
of deal.
You ever have to get down over that shit?
Nah. Like there was one time that like it caught me off guard. I was like in a room full of like, young homies, like cholos and whatnot. And they dropped like the N-bomb with a hard ER. He was like, yeah, like forget those, over there. And then like they kind of laughed about it. And then like the whole room went quiet because they were like, oh snap, like Jerry's here, And then I was like, in that moment, like I'm like, bro, I'm surrounded, you know. So like,
Yeah.
even if I did get up and do the 1-2 piece, I still got to do it with 4 other cats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then it didn't help at the time that like my lady was Latino as well. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right,
it was
right.
just like, okay, like y'all like, but it was like when they got quiet, and I'm just like why would y'all say that? You know?
Right.
And they're like, oh my bad, you know. And I'm like, nah, like it comes down to respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always been like that, man. Even on like the Samoan community as well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What I see a lot. I didn't see any color lines. You know, when I was out here, I fuck with everybody.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I actually probably don't fuck with many white people
yeah,
as maybe the rest of the white people. I don't know,
yeah,
but I don't see any issues with that. But then I don't deal with that shit, so
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
never know how it really
It's
is.
I want to say, what is it? Me and my dad talked about it. It was like, it's actually California is more racist than Mississippi.
Mm,
Because in Mississippi, they'll walk up to you and tell you that they don't like you. They'll tell you why they don't like you. They have no issue doing that. But in California, somebody will be like, "Yo, what's up, dog? What's up? How you? Yeah, man, come on to the house. This and that." As soon as you leave, man, fuck that dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
right,
you're just like,
right.
yo, like
Fake
it's
shit.
the shadiness. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And like on color lines, it's almost now just like tongue in cheek. It's like if you catch it, you catch it. If not, then like then they feel like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, especially with like the climate that America's in right now, it's
That's what I was. You know,
yeah,
it's usually not a subject, man, but we just got out of a weird situation, man,
yeah,
with the whole Trump thing, with
yeah,
the whole shit going crazy with the Capitol, people storming into the Capitol, and
yeah.
like it just felt like America was in a real bad place for 4 years and had no leadership,
Mhm.
especially after the leader that we had, Obama, prior, where it
Mhm.
felt like a fucking good leader. Like it felt like he knew what he was talking about. He said at least he sounded like he knew what he was talking
Yeah.
about. You know what I'm saying? At least he
Yeah.
sounded like it.
It was, I'd say, with Obama, it was the world got to see the swagger of a professional black man. That's what that was.
Got you.
With the whole Obama like campaign, that whole entire thing was like, okay, let's show the world like how great we can be. It was all about representation.
Got
But
you.
he was still, doing the same thing that like every other president does, not take care of, the places that need to be taken care of. I mean, what like we're so involved in like Trump and like these supremacists and stuff, but it's like, yo, Flint still ain't got clean water.
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying?
That part.
Like these hoods still ain't cleaned up. You know what I mean? So
Why do you think the media runs with a story and then drops it when they feel like they just dropped that shit? Like the Flint story was fucking big 3 or 4 years ago and it just kind of dropped and it's still a thing. Like why?
I feel
Why?
like
In personal opinion, of course.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's because America loves drama. America loves drama. America loves gangsters. You know what I'm saying? So they put it out there and was like, hey, this is going on. Check it out. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, we got another story to run. Check you later.
Got you.
There was
Got you.
something that was bigger to top it. That's all the news is. It's like running with the story, running with the story. Because we were just talking about today at work how was it that lady at the Hawks game was tripping on LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, I guess it was. I don't remember what day the game was. I had just seen the clip today where like this chick was like going in on LeBron, like she had courtside seats, and she was like tripping on him, cussing him out, like pointing the finger and everything. And everybody's like, who is this fan?
Yeah.
And then now that's like the newest story like popping up right now. And then since there's nothing else to talk about right now
That's
because
it.
everybody's tired of COVID. Everybody's hearing about like GameStop. Everybody's tired of hearing about Trump. So it's like, all right, what can get everybody like going again? Or
Right.
whatever the case is. It's always the next big story, the next big thing.
Well, 2020 we had one of the biggest stories and one of the weirdest fucking situations I think we've ever had in our lifetime.
Which one?
The COVID situation.
Oh,
The whole wearing a mask situation, the whole you can't see your family on Thanksgiving situation.
yeah, that was weird, but it was kind of funny because when me and my friend was talking about how we used to see the Asian community wear masks and gloves before COVID.
Huh.
We
Right.
see like the old lady walking through the park, hands behind her back, she got a mask on.
Right.
She got gloves on. You're like, yo, she's like just trying to stay away from germs.
Right.
She's just like to herself.
Right.
It's like possibly because of smog or whatever the case is, and then all of a sudden COVID hits, and you're like, dang, she was on to something. Like,
Right, right.
it was almost like the foreshadowing in the story. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, yeah, it's coming up, guys. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that shit. It was weird, man. Was it? Uh, did you find any motivation in 2020? Did it give you some time to analyze yourself in 2020, or was it a distraction with all the bullshit that was going on for you 2020?
2020 was a year of blessings for me and my household, I could say, because how it even started was like I had got that new car out there,
Yeah.
you know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Like I had got that, and then that was in February, and then March had hit, and that was like my birthday, and then
That's when it happened.
yeah, exactly. So the day that we had my birthday celebration down at That Boy Good on Oceanside or Coast Highway.
Last time ever being able to restaurant ever.
Yeah. So we're sitting there eating, and then the game's supposed to come on. So I'm like, all right, this is perfect. You know, I got the family here. You know, it's right down the street from the house, and everything's going good. And then next thing you know, the basketball game itself was like, okay, we're gonna have to postpone this basketball game because of COVID. You know, we're like COVID-19, like what is this? You know, so everybody starts pulling out their phone trying to look for it, and it's just, oh, it's something in China, and then I guess people came over here with it, and then so it was like really just starting. You're like, okay, so people are getting sick, so you know, why do they got to cancel? You know, the NBA,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then like literally within 10 minutes, the whole entire season was canceled after that game. So we're watching it live on TV,
Oh,
and
what
we're
the
supposed to be eating
fuck?
and celebrating my birthday, you know, and I'm like, dang, what's really going on?
But
You
these
know?
motherfuckers looking around at each other like,
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was just, you know, even like the waiters and waitresses, they're stopping, like looking at the TV, like dang, you know. And the next thing you know, they're talking about mask and then like hand sanitizer, and then they're talking about if it was like airborne or if it's like, you know, transmittable through like
Damn.
touch, whatever
Yeah.
the case is. And then everything was fine. I still went to work like the next day like it was nothing. And then I'm gonna say like maybe 2 weeks after that, that's when work was like, all right, it's mandatory. You guys gotta have masks on and stuff like that. And then that's when all the stores were like, you gotta have a mask to come in, and like it became like mandatory.
how did you
know?
feel about wearing a mask?
Um,
You didn't give a shit, or was it like fuck you?
it was kind of like just don't give a shit because it's like, you know, I don't want to get sick, whatever it is, because like I didn't understand the illness or the virus. I didn't understand it fully, so I was like, you know, to protect myself and my family, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and like mask up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's just still like weird because it was the main part was they were saying it's taking out the older people,
Right.
and like real younger people were supposedly like invincible to it
Right.
like when it first came out.
Right.
And then you start hearing like people are dying because of this. You're like, yo, I'm gonna put this mask on. You know,
Right.
I'm gonna put this mask on, and then
Shit got real.
yeah, it got real quick. You know,
Yeah.
it was to the point where me and my wife were like, yo, we need to be like this because like her parents are older, you know, and like they're diabetics and whatnot. And they were saying,
Yeah.
excuse me, it was saying basically, you know, it's taking out the older people with like pre-existing conditions and everything
Right.
like that. So it just makes you look at uncles, aunts, you know, parents, grandparents, and it's like we go to their household or whatever the case is, we need to be protected so they're protected, you know.
Did you or anybody you know get affected by it?
Okay, so I never got it, my wife never got it, but two of her sisters got it, and then a couple of her family members passed from it.
Wow.
And this is all within the last 6 months.
Wow.
So like one of her most recent, I think, pass was, if it wasn't last week, it was the week before. Yeah, so people are still like passing from it, you know.
Now, do you believe that it's COVID that they're passing from, or do you think that this is what they're writing it off as, or what's your take on
I want to say, okay, in all honesty, I'll say that these hospitals, they're getting, I think it's about like 30,000 per death or something like that. So each time like there's a death at the hospital or somewhere wherever there's they can write it off as, they get that money to the hospital, right? So even if it was like a car crash or something like that, they can write it off as COVID, you know, and then get that money into, you know, to the hospital.
that? Wow.
And then at the same time, some people, yes, like they are dying from it because they had pre-existing conditions,
Right.
you know. But then there's also that whole other side where it's like everybody's like, well, is it even, is it COVID even a thing and all this other stuff, it's like obviously it's real because people have died from it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I believe the big thing that had caught my attention was, I think it was like a story in Florida. There was like a motorcycle accident, and the newscaster like confronted the guy, was like, "Hey, you guys wrote this death off as like a COVID death, but it's clearly stated here," and they had the paperwork. It was like a whole like news special.
Yeah.
And they were saying like it's clearly saying here that there was a motorcycle accident. The person never had COVID. He was like in good health and everything like that. So how do you explain this? And the guy was there on camera like, well, the numbers and well, he was like, we changed that, right? I think we changed that one, right? And then you hear somebody like, yeah, we changed it. Like, yeah, like off camera, And I'm just thinking to myself like, this is like the perfect time for these businesses to go ahead and recuperate the money that they lost from people like not paying bills or whatever the case may be, damages and like instead of upkeeping and all that stuff, maintenance, whatever. So this is their chance to get that money in. And of course, when you're a big corporation, you're going to take it,
Yeah. Yeah. What about these little businesses get shut down?
I feel really bad for them. Perfect example, anybody that grew up in Oceanside, they know Killer Pizza from Mars.
Yeah.
That's where we had like our Pop Warner banquets, all that stuff, and also Boomers right over in Vista, people were just
Chuck E.
talking
Cheese.
about, yeah, everything was like getting shut down. I'm like, dang, like COVID's actually destroying my childhood right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that took me aback and also made me want to be even more careful because I'm like, okay, if these things can just disappear because of a virus, like obviously like something's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we went to like check out and see like what was going on like with other businesses, small ones and everything getting shut down. And then at that time I was still working at a bar in Carlsbad. So like we shut down for a little bit and then like they're saying, well, like restaurants or bars can be open, but they got to operate as restaurants.
Sell food and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't get a drink without food,
Right.
even if it's like chips and salsa.
Yep. They did that shit in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they were doing that like real tough. And then even when I just went like last weekend, they're still seating. Like, okay, you go up to like the door, you talk to security guard. He's like, okay, well, how big is your party? It's almost like going to Chili's or something.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, table of how many?
Yeah.
And you gotta have, you gotta make sure that you're eating something. You can't just go sit and have a drink.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
you
crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. But it seems like everything's starting to go back, in order.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because it's like, we could have been having these stores open for the whole time. And
Well, what I've learned. What I've learned about COVID is COVID lives in tiny businesses, and they don't live in. It doesn't live in Walmart. It doesn't live in Target. It doesn't live at the gas station.
Yeah.
It's just mom and pop stores that COVID
it
lives
definitely
at.
doesn't live at the damn dealership.
Doesn't live at the dealership. It's churches. It's the little things in life. It's crazy, man.
It's the things that are actually significant where it messes it up. But things that you really don't care about, you're like, it's not there.
The scariest thing for me during this whole situation was when they shut down the churches.
Yeah.
Is when they tried to take God away from the situation. The only thing that's really can save the situation is when they took that away. It was a situation for me where I had to like analyze this. Like, wait a second, this is not is not the plan.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely man-made or something. Something weird's going on because to take that away is like,
Yeah.
that's real weird.
But no, that's good that you can see through it. You know what I'm saying? See through the BS. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what I feel like. That's what's going on. Just like when they took prayer out of schools.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all the schools are getting shot up.
Yeah.
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 When you take God out of a situation, regardless if you're a believer or not, you're taking away that positive like energy, that protective force.
Yeah. Yeah. True story.
Whether you call it the universe, whether you call it a higher being, higher power, whatever the case is, a lot of people call it God. You know what I mean? And we have a relationship with Him. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you take God out of a situation, things get ugly.
Yeah.
Because
Fast.
Real quick. Because then you just let all the darkness come in, even if it's not like some type of evil. It's like that sinful nature that we all have as human beings.
Yeah.
Like I was just showing my wife again. this video. I think it was like the biggest atomic bomb or something like that. The Soviets made it, and I think what was it? It was like the mushroom cloud went up like 40 miles up into like the sky or something like that. So
Hiroshima.
no, it was called the SAR bomb. It was like
Okay.
just one just to get tested. So
Oh, okay.
so it had a parachute on the back of the missile to delay the detonation or it hitting the ground just to give the people that dropped the bomb enough time to get away from the blast radius.
Fuck.
So when you watch that video and you see like the aftermath and you're like why do we have that?
Right.
Like who are we gonna drop that on?
Right.
You
What
know?
the fuck is that gonna ever be used for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that that's our sinful nature as humans is that we love to destroy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like perfect example, planet Earth right now. There was a news article I was reading on and it was saying the deepest point in the ocean, the Marianas Trench, it
Yeah.
already has plastic bags in there.
Sheesh.
The deepest point of the ocean.
That's
You know?
crazy.
And I'm just thinking like even I don't know if it's in Japan or was it Russia, it was like one of the nuclear reactors or something like that had like a fallout, like that's still leaking into the ocean today. You know, there was like right under that article was saying how
You reading the good news? What is
yeah,
it?
yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Where the good news at?
Yeah. And like how the orcas and whatnot, how they're actually stealing fish from the fishing boats.
Damn.
Because there's no fish.
So they gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah, there's a report saying that if we don't stop fishing by the year 2050, our oceans will be fishless, like lifeless.
Damn. That's crazy.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so imagine having just like this big blue ocean and you can't even enjoy like the beautiful stuff that's in it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So if there's no fish, eventually like the food chain dies off and then also like the coral reef falls off and then
Everything.
you literally just got
Yeah. I tell you what, man. If the fish die, we next.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
promise you that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's for sure.
Because yeah, I'm a nerd because I look I looked this
No, we
stuff
talk about
up,
random
man.
shit. It's a random podcast.
Yeah,
show, you know what I'm saying? It's good.
So,
it's good. It's good.
It was saying that what is it? I think most of our oxygen actually comes from like phytoplankton instead of the rainforest that we believe.
Damn.
So with the deforestation already going through messing up our oxygen, and then if we take away all of our fish and wildlife in the ocean, and then like the phytoplankton, yeah, they'll be there for a little bit, but then what is it? Global warming's messing up like the oxygen in the ocean and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Then when there's no like oxygen in the ocean, in the water, all life ceases. And then what we gonna do?
Yeah, I was just talking to my buddy about, man, like how crazy the last 5 years have been with the weather change. Like the summers are longer, the winters are weird. They're coming in a weird season right now. It's like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, and it's almost March, and it's crazy. Like I don't know, it's weird. It's weird out there. 2021, man. What do we got going on for Jay Crunk, man?
Honestly, I'm gonna try a different approach.
We don't try and do shit.
Well, I'm gonna take a different approach with my music and whatnot. Instead of just doing like leases and finding YouTube beats and everything, I've really always dreamed of like locking it in with like a producer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, you got this beat. All right, this is gonna be this, and it's gonna be like what's his name? Gangstar. So like Guru and Premier, and they were like locked in.
They had that sound.
Exactly. You know, and it's like regardless of whatever sound it comes out, like I'm down for it.
Are you working with any producers right now?
Shout out to Sin Slap in San Diego.
Shout out to Sin Slap. Hello.
Yeah, I was just talking to him in the DMs and whatnot. I was trying to get a beat. And then I just got put on to, what is it, 88 The Gang?
Okay.
Something like that? Yeah. I just got put on to him last night by one of the homies, CJ. We was in a recording session and whatnot, and he was like, yo, you should try to do this challenge. And I was like, oh, for sure, I'm down for challenges and stuff. And then I checked it, and I was like, too late. They were already in the finals.
Got you.
So I asked, I was like, yo, when's the next challenge? I haven't got a word back yet, but yeah, I've always been trying to expand, but I see that I need to like take a little time out and invest myself within my circle here in like San Diego as well. There's like I've always still wanted to get on like your beats, even like that beat. that you showed me last time, like it was almost like a Sada Baby one. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this sounds like somebody just get out of the jail. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
like they jam. Like that beat hasn't left my head since I left. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to hit Karma about that beat. I need to hit him about that beat. You know, but I know like especially because of COVID, everybody's schedule is like
Crazy. Yeah.
crazy.
You got a goal. I like to have people and hold them to a goal on 2021, man, so we can try and get you back in here 6 to 8 months and see we got that goal, man. Let's try and set a goal. What can we accomplish? A single, a video. What can we do that we ain't done yet?
I want to have like a legit music video, you know, like with actual like people there, you know what I mean, like the energy and stuff, like the ones that you see on TV, like back in the day, like when the
Yeah.
whole neighborhood comes outside,
Yeah,
and, you know what I
yeah.
mean, because that was showing, yeah, sure, homie's like a dope dealer or whatever the case is, but he came back to the neighborhood, got all the kids out there playing in the water and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, you're gonna have like the fine woman passing by, whatever the case
You
is.
talking about Cash Money?
Yo,
Don't you?
exactly. I'm actually like as I'm talking, I'm thinking about the Juvenile.
Yeah, I
video.
know you were. I was thinking about it too when you said it.
Juvenile. I think it's called Bounce Back.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I've always been a fan of like unity, community,
Yeah.
positivity and stuff. It's like, yeah, sure, we all got our lifestyles and everything like that, but when it comes to like the greater good, like we can set all that aside. You
Yeah.
know, and I feel like, you know, especially like in like the hood and stuff, that's where like peace treaties are really like derived from. You know what I mean? It's like, look, man, like we really tripping over this little stuff, and at the same time, like, you know, the big man over here, he's making profit of us going back and forth at each other.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That kind of thing. So it's like, why don't we just put it aside and we just have a good day? And then something always happen, and then it goes right back to, you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes it's a state of mind, sometimes it's just not at the right time.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, man, so my goal is definitely to have like a legit video.
Okay.
Also, I wanna have like a solid project. I think my last one was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it was
liked
still
it.
yeah, it was versatile. Thank you. It was versatile, but at the same time, I got to explore my sound and show people, you know, what else I can do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, instead of just spitting bars all the time, it was like,
Yeah, because when you first came in, you was just a hip hopper. I thought.
yeah.
I thought you was hip hopper. Then you just
Straight backpacker, because I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Let me show these people like what they really
got
need to
bars.
be. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
how I grew up. Me and my cousin, man, we used to like freestyle all day, every day, like all the time. You know, we used to watch rap battles, all that stuff, and we're just like, yo, he's saying this. You know what I mean? Yo, did you remember what?
What he said. Yeah.
Yeah, and even like growing up, we used to listen to music, you know, smoke on the side of the crib, and we would just be like, yo, like he's saying like, rewind that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you're like, he said, oh, okay. And then so growing up with that, you know, environment or mentality, it's like that's my greatness where I achieve. And then also growing up, in like high school, like I kid you not, Lupe Fiasco was like my number one artist.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
lyrical as ever, but he had the message, and then also he was able to show what else he can do. You
So
know,
that leads me to the next question. 5 artists, let's make this motherfucker go viral. And if they see it, they want to work with you. 5 artists that you could work with, dead or alive.
number one, Crooked Eye. From
Crooked
the West
Eye?
Coast. Number one, Crooked Eye.
Okay, so just to let you know, it doesn't have to be like top number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just any 5.
Okay, Crooked Eye. I need to make sure he hears this.
I'm gonna
okay.
tag him too.
For sure,
I
for
see
sure.
him here
King
and there, so
Crooked.
I'm gonna tag him.
Yo, please make Slaughterhouse come back, man. I missed that. But definitely King Crooked. Definitely Lupe Fiasco. I'd say Nip, but I'm gonna switch it and say YG. You know what I mean? Because he was like the closest to him, like
Okay.
industry wise. You know what I mean? Or homie wise and whatnot. Besides like his actual camp.
Right,
you know.
right.
I want to say so. Yeah, Crook, YG, Lupe, and Nas for sure.
Dope.
I feel like me and Nas can get on like some real ill stuff. And then also, could it be 6?
No. That last one.
I think I'm gonna have to take Nas off, and it's gonna have to be Andre 3000,
Ooh,
and Kid Cudi.
you already said Kid Cudi.
No, I didn't. Did I? I
Yeah.
said King Crooked, Lupe.
Oh, Lupe Fiasco. You said Lupe. You didn't say Kid Cudi.
Nah, Cudi.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Cudi definitely helped me through high school, depression years, whatever you want to call it.
What
drug
happened to Cudi?
experimenting. Yo, he just dropped a new album.
Did he?
Yo, so
Okay, I ain't shit.
Yo, no, that's the thing about it. Like,
Did it just
I
like
don't
no
blame you.
promotion?
No,
Like just out the sky?
It's if you're following him, because you got to
Gotcha.
remember that mainstream engine is something like
Different.
fierce nowadays.
Yeah.
So they're just pushing out a bunch of artists that sound the same. You know, that all got the same cadence.
Yeah,
Everybody's on auto tune, talking about shooting up, going to the club, everything, ass shaking. They push that in front of you.
Yeah.
So all the legends, they're still there. They're doing other things and everything like that because they see that they're not getting pushed. You have to go search for these people.
Got you.
So, like, perfect example, Kid Cudi's still doing it. Lupe actually just dropped a new single today. Like, Nas's album, since it had the big features with, like, A$AP Ferg and, you know, Big Sean on it, so people were like, oh, yo, I know those names. I'm going to go listen.
Right.
You know, and then plus, like, Nas has always been, like, that cultural, like, yo, if you know hip-hop, you know Nas. If you don't, it's almost like Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say you hip-hop and you don't know Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta know at least a couple of these goddamn songs.
Yeah, even if not the songs, the members.
Yeah.
You know, it comes down to that, you know. And then I really, really mess with Talib Kweli, Mos Def, so basically like Black Star, you know, Gangstar, so that's Guru, Royce da 5'9", yeah, I'm really just like, I like lyrical artists, you know, and then like I can't like even say all these names without like the first artist that I thought was like lyrical and shining at the same time was Chamillionaire.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Chamillionaire, he was doing the mixtape Messiahs, you know, he was doing it tough. But eventually he put down the microphone and then he's like
Picked up the tech.
yeah, and then now he's
Shit.
courtside every game.
You feel me?
You know, sitting next to E40 like, yo, what's happening? You know, and he can still body like artists out today.
I talked to a local legend today, man, Tage. You know Tage? You've heard of
Tage?
Tage?
Yeah.
Tage. So, you know, he told me he loved doing rap. He liked doing the barbershop thing. He does this. Now that he's been doing the barbershop thing, he hates rap. And he looks back on his rapping shit and he's like, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't get me where I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm where I want to be now, the business mind. Do you have any business plans or anything like that in general with any kind of businesses or any ideas for any kind of businesses or any? You're a smart dude. I know you got hella ideas.
I do. I got a lot of ideas. It's probably not gonna happen because it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, remember how we had that whole conversation about the whole, I think it was called Highway 78.
Oh yeah, man. Well,
it's because man, like I said, it's because I'm about unity and community.
The people that were involved with that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go on there and say that. You know, unfortunately, I'm sure it'll get out there. I'm sure somebody will fucking see this. I'm sure they'll get right to the attention. But it just wasn't the right people involved. Like, and here's my thing is like, if you say you're a community person, then I gotta see you in the community.
Yeah.
I can't say you're a community person and I haven't seen you in the community at any of the events.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, backyard boogies, barbecues, bars, clubs, in the streets, just anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
That's where I kind of felt a little odd that the people that were getting involved were people that weren't involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's definitely true because it's like the packaging was like perfect. It was just like the sender wasn't right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even like looking back at it now, I'm like, you know, a lot of the people or persons that were like trying to push that so hard, you know, it's like they're still on the same level I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't, like, it was just because it was such a great moment, like just to even have like all those names and people, everything in this one room in the studio. It was like
it was epic.
It was like, even though I was like a newcomer, I was like, yo, I remember people talking about you. I remember seeing your poster down in front of Rookies or in front of Cabo. I remember like, and then I'm actually shaking hands with these people, you know, and it's like I'm gonna tell y'all now, like when y'all see this, like I love to give people their flowers, you know what I'm saying, while they can still smell them. So that's why like I give you, you know what I mean, your props every single time I leave a studio, you know, session. It's just, yo, Karma, thank you for having this hub for us, you know what I'm saying?
It's all
Because
good, yeah.
a lot of people have like secluded ones where they keep it to a select few, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then it's like, bro, like literally if we all, you know, came together, did it like some Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? Oceanside, North County could really be,
I
you
think,
know,
I think, and this is just personal opinion. I'm gonna wrap this up too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We've been on for an hour, by the way. I think this is the longest shit I've ever done. I think if I was born and raised in Oceanside, they would get behind me a little bit more. But because I came out here when I was 14,
Yeah.
it's a little different. I think that's what it is. So they don't want to get behind me so much, and it's more of a push fight. Like, you see me keep doing this shit for y'all. You see me keep doing this shit for y'all.
I don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
Like, to keep it 100, that's not what it is. It's because like remember like Exhibit came from what, New Mexico? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? LA fucked with him hard. The whole West Coast like claims him as their own, but
Right.
he's not from here, you know.
Right.
It's the fact that people are jealous. People are envious, you know. People are like, well, how come he gets to do that? And it's like, well, do you know Karma's life? Do you know like the trials and tribulations he had to go through to get here?
Yeah.
He could have quit. We wouldn't even have this conversation. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the fact that you keep elevating and people can't stop you because they won't stop you.
Yeah.
So then what do? They choose to hate. They
Yeah.
choose to say, "Oh nah, don't go to his session because this and this," or "Nah, you shouldn't mess with him because he's you know what I mean, he's pimping out the black community," or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
These are, you know what I'm saying, these are like little bullshits that is really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm all about keeping it 100. You know, if you mess with me, mess with me. Let me know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you don't, then don't like say what's up to my face and be all smiles and everything like that. And then like as soon as I turn my back, like, oh, that nigga's whack. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
I'm not about that. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why once again I keep my distance from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So really, I feel like that's North County's like issue. Like is people always, everybody wants to be the face of it and be like, yo, I'm the king of Oceanside, I'm the king of Vista, I'm the king of Esco,
Right.
instead of being like, yo, we could just be like the team. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, oh yeah, I'm Method Man, I gotta be Method Man, or I gotta be RZA. It's like, bro, we could be Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Real shit.
That's really what it is. It's because people, they don't have like the discipline, they don't have the vision that you have, you know. So even at times I find myself like damn, like how did Karma do it? You know what I'm saying? Like you know, because like I don't know like too much about like, you know, your personal stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not digging into that. It's just the fact that like growing up, like that was one of the names. After I went to, you know, Board or Pistol Pete and whatnot, I was like, damn, what other studios are out here? Everybody mentioned Karma. You got to go to Karma, you know? So it's like, all right, well, who is Karma? And then
Yeah.
you start seeing more posters and they're like, bro, like, he's almost like a mythic like being. He's here, but he's like, where is he? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I finally meet you and then I'm like, yo, like, he's one of the most humble guys I know. You know what I'm saying? He'll even give you pointers and tips within the session and everything like that. There's other artists that'll be here and be like, yo, you can go to this studio, this and this. You go to the studio, you drop it, and then like they're just there to get the money.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell you
Press
like, bro,
buttons
that
and
sounds
shit.
whack. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever the case is. So, you know,
Well, I love this shit, man.
Yeah.
This is a passion for me.
Exactly.
I love everything about this city, and my goal is to bring the city to another spot that, you know, hopefully we can just keep rising the whole fucking city. Because
Yeah.
I've seen the talent grow over the last 10 years, and I want to continue to see it grow.
Yeah.
Where can they follow you on social media, brother?
Right now I only got my Instagram up. I mean, you can follow me on Twitter at my Twitter handle is West Coast Crunk. My Instagram is the real J Crunk, and that's JKRUNK. Yeah, definitely follow me on there. I got my music on all platforms. You know, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, whatever the case is.
Any shout outs?
Yo, I want to give a shout out to anybody who's still like doing this. You know, I mean, the dreamers out there. You know, because I'm definitely a dreamer. I want to give a shout out to like definitely Karma for like having me here.
Appreciate you,
Everybody that was here in that Highway 78, even though it didn't come to fruition, everybody that came and showed up, I appreciate that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because like as a young artist trying to get into the game, like that was so inspiring. You know.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the Mayo, you know what I'm saying? Also follow him, MYOE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Strange. I think what is it? What's her handle? I think it's like Strange Things on Instagram.
You talking about Lenz's niece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big B's sister.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
I'm gonna give a shout out to him. Shout out to her. I want to give a shout out to what is it, Coach CJ.
Coach CJ.
Yeah, because we was
man.
just in the studio last night. He hooked me up with a free one side. Definitely get your one side clothing.
One side.
Also his sister Camille, because she was on my last project. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm all about family too. So
Hell yeah.
you know, I know how it was like before getting into the art of everything. So that's why I also always go back and reach for like people I've seen like working on it or trying to get in the game.
Yeah.
Definitely give a shout out to Big CAE, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
without him, I wouldn't have even made it this far. I wouldn't have found like the avenues and venues to even try to like facilitate my art in. I want to give a shout out to Jay Vega. He what's it called? He put down like some bars. Like he can just freestyle. He can just
That
go
dude's
off.
dumb freestyle,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Dumb freestyle, bro.
And I'm just like, dog, like, where
What
does it
the
come? Yeah,
fuck?
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he'd be like, all right, you spit. And I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah. Nah, I need a piece of paper and an hour.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, you know what? Just let me come back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I want to give a shout out to who else? Because I feel like in the moment, you know, you don't think about it, but as soon as like the cameras turn off, you're like, do. You know what I mean?
Or we
Everybody
could tag
comes
him.
in.
We could always tag him. You know what I'm
Okay, yeah, definitely. I just want to give a shout out to everybody out here in North County. Like I said, doing their thing. Just keep rapping. I'm gonna give a shout out to Nixt as well.
Yeah,
he's been
dope.
stepping it up. He's been
Man,
stepping it up.
shout out
man.
to Nix, man.
For
He's
real.
been fucking helping me a lot.
Yeah. Who else? I want to say Jace the Hooligan. I want to say give him a shout out.
Shout out Jace.
Cree Russian, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow him. He's like a comedian. He's a rapper. He does
Oh,
hair.
yeah.
I had him on my first project. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm always going back and grabbing people that I know that should be here. You know what I'm saying? But of course, everybody has different visions. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like everybody, man. If I
Jay
just say,
Clark wants to say
yeah.
shout out to everybody for the next
Yeah.
15 minutes. We're going to have to cut him off. I appreciate
about
you,
love,
man.
man.
I appreciate you taking the time, man, stopping by. This is definitely the longest interview I had, but it was smooth, man.
All right, for sure.
Yes, sir, brother. You have a great night, brother.
All right, you too.
All right.